ladies and gentlemen. It's the Outlaw Red Hood from, your favorite podcast, The Source Wall. It's just me this time. I figured I'd try something different and give you my review of Red Hood and the Outlaws, issue 25, because since they did, I can't remember if it was issue 1, but it was an issue where Batman and the Red Hood had a burger, where Batman gave the Red Hood permission to basically, stay in Gotham City and do his outlaw thing. And it's finally come to a head. Jason Todd basically broke Batman's golden rule: thou shalt not kill. So with that said, this issue starts off with Jason Todd having a flashback of when he was robbing, years ago when he was robbing. And he was drowning. He had Master Alfred. He had Alfred calling out to Jason through comm saying, "Jason, Master Todd, you have to wake up." So he wakes up. He says, "You have to swim to the surface." But obviously Batman, if you didn't know this, Batman was at the bottom of the harbor. In the crashed Batmobile, it was all crushed. And he was obviously drowning. So Jason saved him, told Alfred, "Shut up." And he saved Bruce, brought him to the surface, gave him CPR, and woke him up. Resuscitated Batman. And Batman was like, "Jason, if you ever leave, it'll be your choice, not mine." And obviously that line stuck with him. Then it gets to modern day, where basically carries on from where we left off in issue 24, with Jason surrounded by the police, with like crazy amount of guns pointed at him, but he just, pretty much runs off. We've got Artemis and Bizarro in their little fortress above Gotham, which is literally about to explode. It's as big as the city, and it's going to explode and basically crash on Gotham. So Artemis is trying to figure that out. And Bizarro used to be smart. Lex Luthor did something to him where he was like a super genius. So they had the best of both worlds. They were like a super genius clone of Superman, who with the abilities of Superman, but he's gone back to being regular Bizarro, and he can't help Artemis. Going back to Jason Todd, he realizes that their fortress is crashing down. So he's like, "Okay, I've got to get up there." He jumps into the air. And who catches him? Batman. So Jason doesn't even hesitate. He just starts shooting at Batman. I have to say, the artwork was amazing in this. It was a double page spread. It's just basically Batman's got his ropes around Jason's leg. Jason's shooting at Batman. And when he lands, Jason says, "We're going to do this again, old man." To which, Batman said, I've told you. We had a deal. You could operate in Gotham. You could stay free if you didn't kill anyone." And he mentions the fact, obviously, Jason killed the Penguin, point blank. And he did it like in front of news cameras, so everybody saw it. And it seems like the fact that Batwoman killed, his rule is weird. I've not been reading Detective Comics. But, Batman's like, yeah, at least when Batwoman did it, not everybody could see it. I'm like, well, killing's killing, isn't it? Batman smashes Jason's Red Hood and tells him, "No more Red Hood. Red Hood is done." Who comes down and saves him, though? His boy Bizarro. Takes him up to the fortress in the sky. And the three of them, that is Artemis, Bizarro, and Red Hood, are trying to figure out how they're gonna stop their base from falling from the sky and literally pretty much crushing a huge amount of the city. So Jason and Artemis do what they do best. They argue about it. And it looks like there was still some smarts left in Bizarro. He had an idea. He pulls up the main wire from their base, and they have a door. They called it the quantum doorway. When Bizarro was smart, he basically invented it. And the quantum doorway basically allowed them to go anywhere they wanted. Anywhere. So Bizarro takes the big wire from their base and tells them, "Me told you. Me would go anywhere, anytime. Me meant it." And then he flies the big wire through the quantum doorway. And that was the end of, it seems like it's the end of Bizarro. We don't know. and the base is basically being sucked into the doorway because of it. And Bizarro, sorry, not Bizarro, Artemis tells Jason, "Don't worry, I'll go after him." It's another double page spread. She kisses Jason, Artemis kisses Jason, and he's like, "Finally, so what did you think, princess?" She's like, "It was okay for a boy." Jumps in and says, "Don't call me princess." And their base literally gets sucks into the quantum doorway. And Jason's just left on the roof. He's upset. You can tell he's really, really upset. Even the images, he just looks heartbroken. But realizes Batman standing behind him. So they start fighting again. Batman pretty much wastes Jason Todd, beats the crap out of him. And he said, "I once told you, if you ever left, it would be your choice, not mine." Rips off his Batman logo off of Jason Todd's shirt. But then something happened, something that was unexpected. I'm surprised that I didn't see this as a spoiler online because there were so many spoilers for this comic. A good friend of Jason shows up, shoots Batman's utility belt so that he can't use anything. And then gas comes from an arrow, a red arrow. And who is it? Arsenal. Picks up Jason and says, "I got you, buddy." And that's it. That was the end of the issue. To find out what happens next, we got to read Red Hood and the Outlaws Annual 2, which I can't wait to read. But this was a great comic. It was sad because you can just totally tell that everything for, Artemis, Bizarro, and Red Hood is coming to an end. And whatever happens next is going to be a new start for him again. And also, sad to say, it was the last of Dexter Sawyer's run. He was the artist and he did such a great job doing the artwork for this comic. Like, he's literally one of my favorite artists and he did a great job. All his double page spreads are just great. I'm not sure if it's Lobdell's last on the run, but Dexter Sawyer is definitely done with this. I actually have my Red Hood mask. It was based off a design that Dexter Sawyer did. But that was that, guys. I thought I would give you a little insight on Red Hood and the Outlaws issue 25. Hope you like this. Maybe if you do, I'll do a few more. For now, check more of us out at the Source Wall every Wednesday around 7:30ish. We're on all the socials, Instagram, and you can find us on YouTube, SoundCloud, and you can find myself on Instagram at the Outlaw Red Hood, where you can see all my comic books that I read. I try not to spoil. Got all my toy photography on there, and sometimes if I'm watching a superhero movie or an animated something, I might throw in a little video here or there as well. So thanks for listening. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and yeah, peace out. One represents all. We're the Source Wall.